my nose filled with the smell of burnt flesh from gunpowder. Setting the head down, I resolutely raised a gun. Gunshots echoed. I fell. A vine-wrapped tree crashed toward me, branches dangling body parts. My left leg was pinned, immovable. Gunshots neared. Desperately, I searched for the head. My only fierce thought, if I live, I'll avenge him and the others. If I die, we'll die together, buried in one place. Finally, sunlight woke me. Last night's nightmare was etched in my mind as if real. I pondered but found no clues. My hand no longer hurt. The nurse changed the bandage, finding yesterday's treated blister swollen again. She frowned, saying she'd never seen such a severe blister. I agreed, especially from a tiny ash piece. Worried about the church work, during the bandage change, I called old Ta. Last night was normal, but this morning 2 workers quit, short-staffed. I thought quickly, told old Ta to find familiar temporary workers, pay higher, as long as they're quick. He agreed. I heard children's noise on his end. Whose kids stayed all night? I asked irritably. Old Ta said no one brought kids. I was about to say I saw one last night and heard now. Don't hide it, but the signal weakened, static buzzed, call dropped. Couldn't reconnect. I trusted old Ta greatly. With him, no worries. But thinking of the strange events since taking the job, I texted reminders on safety, asking if the manager handed over shifts. Hours later, old Ta replied, "Manager came this morning. Handover smooth, but seemed distrustful, repeatedly asking if anything unusual happened last night. Their bricks are antiques, be careful." I texted back. My hand painless. I wanted discharge, but the doctor refused, saying discharge risked serious infection. But you show no infection signs now. The doctor shook his head, still staying as proper. As if coordinating, my hand stung sharply. The doctor injected painkiller, drew more fluid from the blister. Looking at the syringe, even without medical knowledge, I saw the fluid too clear, no blood, no yellow like plain water. A hospital day was boring. Evening, I contacted old Ta. Temporary workers found, progress good. Reportedly, before leaving, the manager sought old Ta again, repeating bricks are antiques. Probably because I wasn't there, old Ta said. The manager rushed to the door, standing outside repeating cautions. Work carefully, don't move church items, or bear consequences. I've heard the red church bricks were shipped from France, remaining vividly red after a century. I don't know if the legend is true or false. I only know this manager's mind is indeed abnormal. Comforting old Ta before hanging up, sudden drowsiness hit, as if an invisible hand pulled me into dreams. Same room, same rose-carved mirror, same lion-like face, twisted fingers and toes, body full of red patches. This time, I had some awareness in the dream. Before outsiders shattered the windows, I searched and found a skinny child nestled at my knee.
He rested his head on my leg, sleeping soundly, arms hugging half a loaf of bread, occasionally smacking lips.
His skin was smooth, unlike mine in the dream. After spotting him, my awareness faded. In the dream, I patted his back gently, humming an unknown lullaby. Then, the nightmare repeated from last night. Gloomy jungle, terrifying explosions, charred body parts, severed limbs, and the grinning head. Waking again at dawn. Blinking, something felt wrong. From yesterday's experience, I'd drawn the curtains tight before sleep. But now half was pulled aside, sunlight shining directly on my face. I'm in a single room. No nurses entered at night. What happened to the curtain? Standing to check, I was horrified to find tiny black handprints on it. I'm haunted. When the nurse unwrapped the bandage and the doctor stared wide-eyed at the healed blister swollen again, I was certain I was possessed. The blister fluid remained clear. These days I hadn't visited strange places. The only possibility was the child's grave. That damned kid. I just borrowed rainwater from his jar. Why so vengeful? Thinking this, ignoring the doctor's protests, I insisted on discharge. I bought a sturdy, beautiful new jar, plus offerings. My uncle was right, never take from the dead or face retribution. Arriving at the cemetery, before reaching the child's grave, old Za called. He said a minor incident at the site. Startled, I thought workers fell or damaged items. Old Za hesitated, only saying workers wanted to quit. He couldn't continue, then hung up and turned off his phone. Without repaying the child, I rushed to the church. By then, tourists were entering. The team had left. I only saw tools covered with tarps in a back corner. Buying a ticket, I sought the manager. Seeing me, his face soured, saying my small company was unreliable, telling me to prepare compensation. There was a minor issue. I slipped cash into his pocket, following thick skin and sweet-tongue principles, flattering him, then asking what happened last night. The manager led me to the right tower, pointing at the wall. This morning, he found tools scattered, and the wall half renovated. My workers were gone. He cleared the tools to prevent tourist injuries. I added sweet words, patting my chest promising on-time work tonight. Leaving the church, I went to Old Za's home. This was abnormal. Others leaving was fine, but he couldn't abandon tools haphazardly. Unexpectedly, Old Za wasn't home. His wife cracked the door, saying he went to the countryside for business. Unknown return, no phone. Before more questions, she slammed it shut. Perplexed, I visited other workers' homes but found none. Phones off, families evasive or angrily scolded. One worker's mother spat at me, blaming me for risking lives for money. Indeed, no pie falls from the sky. This job came to me because big companies sensed the oddity and avoided it. I wanted out, but the contract was signed. Breaching it, I couldn't afford compensation. Pondering all morning, at midday, under scorching sun, I went to the cemetery, replaced the jar with a new one filled with mineral water. Fearing dissatisfaction, I added milk and sodas, opened, placed before the grave. Joss paper burned, offerings made. If not for the child's young age at death, I'd have kowtowed. I even asked my uncle to reason with the child. As neighbors, surely it'd respect him somewhat. Before dusk, I led temporary workers to the Red Church. Tonight, I'd supervise personally. The manager, surprised seeing me, pursed lips. I winked, preempting, the church bricks are all antiques. Perhaps due to daytime cash, the manager rushed out again, eyeing the setting sun, waving me over. I stepped out, suddenly feeling even twilight warmth. The church always felt chilly, likely from ancient, damp structures. No matter what you see tonight, ignore it. The manager patted my shoulder with his withered hand. Unsure of his meaning, he wouldn't elaborate, turning to leave. I shook my head, entering the church. Suddenly, my back felt heavy, like carrying a backpack of stones, weighing my shoulders down. Progress urgent, last night little done, no time to dwell. I directed workers to cover items, set scaffolding, start work. Since taking the company, I'd climbed scaffolding before. Today felt familiar. Church renovation wasn't heavy. Most items immovable. We only dusted, fixed old wiring, and painted designated areas. I was dusting a wooden statue, identical to the Virgin Mary outside the gate. Though not religious, her face seemed kind, like a family elder. As I reached toward the Virgin, my back and shoulders grew heavier. Scaffolding creaked. Only me up there, but sounds like someone climbing, approaching. Moreover, odd, one step heavy, one light. I backed up, realizing my steps even, so the approaching entity person or thing was limping. Firecracker smell hit, mixed with char. Looking down, bloody footprints advanced toward me. As suspected, one side normal shoe print, other a drag mark. Terrified, shaking, mind lost control. I saw my hand gently touch the Virgin's cheek, then my lips approach, kissing her forehead. Oh heavens, Virgin Mary, Jesus and Mother Mary, I truly didn't mean to blaspheme. While frantically apologizing to the statue, my blistered hand pained intensely, worse than before. That arm rose before me, bandages unraveling, floating, then covering my eyes. Before me, white mist. Someone blew in my ear. Childish giggles sounded, then someone hugged my knee. That damned kid again. I cursed it inwardly, but as if sensing, he tightened, hurting my leg. Then he burst into tears. Angry, I struggled to kick him. The binding force vanished suddenly, but my leg didn't stop. Off balance, I fell backward. The fall was slow motion. I saw the bald boy biting his finger, looking guilty at me. Behind him, the lion-faced woman from dreams, plus countless ragged, terrifying women. I saw severed limbs and the grinning head. I kept falling, feeling like piercing the floor, plunging underground. Bizarre images flashed. Stained glass windows whizzed by. Church glass, I didn't know the meanings behind beautiful colors and patterns, only that sunlight through them was stunning. From panic, I calmed. During the fall, I tried touching, opening those beautiful windows. Actually, church stained glass is decorative, unopenable. I was desperately seeking escape. When my hand touched a window depicting the crucifixion, the fall stopped. Before me, the rose-carved mirror. I stood gazing, bewildered at the reflection, a beautiful woman in her 20s. In traditional Bruneian attire, heavily pregnant, face full of happiness.